What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. Man, this is going to be an interesting video. And I'm going to start it with this because a lot of people have been laying gold aside for whatever reason. Let me just point out the fact that a lot of these world banks, or should I call them central banks, are still accumulating while the average individual is saying dump your gold for Bitcoin. I all along I do believe the plan was to get the masses to be distracted and get into more of a digital kind of currency, and this was the precursor to the CBDCs. But anyways, let me show you what Alan Greenspan, former chair of the Federal Reserve, tell you in his own words.
Well, what's interesting is gold is still significant. I ask myself if it's a relic of a long history. Why is there $1 trillion held in gold by the world's central banks, plus the IMF and all of the other financial institutions? If it's worthless and meaningless, why is everybody still holding it?
Exactly. So if the big boys are still holding it, then it has to have some significance, right? Even though they tell you it doesn't. So it's there's that saying that goes, see what they do, not what they say. And that holds a lot of weight. In other news, a good reason why you could be holding on to gold is because of this. And this is news coming out of China. So Shenzhen, a major manufacturing and distribution hub in China, just announced a full lockdown. So you're going to see a lot more global supply chain problem. So we see another thing here. Mainland China has already started to divert flights away from Shanghai and began lockdown this week with closures in some of its largest provinces. Vessels have stopped departing from Shanghai as a port. So, and I recently read that China had a lot of COVID cases spiking up. So could it be that as the restrictions ease up currently here in the U.S., you see it beginning this month, in March actually already started, that in the next couple weeks to months you start seeing a wave of another variant make its way? I don't know, but let me tell you, it seems really interesting given the fact that we have the Pfizer CEO saying there needs to be a fourth dose. And and this one is to include all the variants, he says. So, take a listen.
No, I got the 2 shots of the vaccine and I got boosters. I got 3 shots. 3 shots. So now people are wondering, are they going to have to get a fourth shot? Will we need a fourth shot of another booster to keep our immunity up?
I think we will.
No, I got the 2 shots of the vaccine and I got boosters. I got 3 shots. 3 shots.
Okay.
So now people are wondering.
So he's saying he thinks they will. So that remains to be seen. So stay tuned. I will keep you guys informed. Here, do you remember when Janet Yellen said, oh, inflation is transitory, it'll be better next month or next year or whatever? Well, now she has a different tune. And that's why you can't believe these people. Whenever they say one thing, the opposite is true the majority of the time. So take a listen and enjoy the comedy show.
I don't want to make a prediction exactly as to what's going to happen in the second half of the year. We're likely to see another year in which 12-month inflation numbers remain very uncomfortably high. I don't want to make a...
Remain uncomfortably high. Folks, this is why we talk about preparation. Prep, prep. We see Elon Musk tweeting, "What are your thoughts about probable inflation rate over the next few years?" And he says Tesla and SpaceX are seeing significant recent inflation pressure in raw materials and logistics, and we are not alone. Commodity prices are definitely going to go up, and they will continue to go up. And folks, this guy's not dumb, and I'm sure he collects a lot of data that comes out here on Twitter. So all the replies and everything, all the retweets, is a sign, and it gives him information. This guy is intelligent. He collects it. And a lot of people are on the bandwagon of inflation, and a lot of people don't want to hold on to their dollars. And I'm telling you right now, I've been a proponent that there is another leg up, about 10 to 12% left in the stock market until it recreates that same run up as the roaring 20s, except we're in the rotting 20s, and people are going to jump in and be the exit liquidity for a lot of these congressmen. So, something to keep in mind. And I thought this was pretty hilarious. If you guys haven't seen, Tom Brady decided to unretire and return to football. And Adam Tiger, he's one of the guys who does videos with Mike Maloney. He said Tom Brady, quote unquote, unretires, pioneering the way for millions of Americans to follow when the coming recession hits. I thought that was a pretty funny line. But nevertheless, he, in humor are truths revealed. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. And here's another thing that I'm keeping track of is CBDCs. Jamaica's government will airdrop 2,500 Jamaican dollars to the first 100,000 citizens who use the country's new crypto wallet. They're falling in line with what China did with their digital yuan, and they gave it to citizens who are participants in the trial. And this is how it starts. They're testing it, but it's gonna come at a time of crisis. And make no mistake, I believe that the Russia-Ukraine has a lot to do with where this world is headed next. So even though everyone's hyper-focusing on it and forgetting about, the virus still exists, right? And the real information about it is coming out, but they've diverted the attention to Russia and Ukraine. And the result from Russia and Ukraine is going to be higher prices for commodities, right? And every individual in the world is going to feel that greater breakdown of the supply chain. Folks, it's not a joke. We're heading to serious times, and you just got to stay on top of it. And I'm trying my best to present as much information as I can to you to keep you up to date. So, with that in mind, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.